Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Sheviit. Perek Giman, Mishnah Vav. Over here in this Mishnah, we're going to talk about removing a fence. Right? So if a person has a fence and he wants to take down this fence, are you allowed to take down all the rocks, all the way down to the ground? Or is that considered, removing that lower layer, is that considered fixing your field? So that's what we're going to discuss. The fence that has 10 stones. Right? Each stone, right, is the masoi of 2. Right? Meaning that it's a load for 2 men to carry. Right? Each stone was heavy enough, where it's a load that you need 2 men to carry each stone. That's the weight of each stone. Right? You are allowed to take these rocks down. Right? They're big enough, and it's a big enough fence, so you're allowed to do so. Shur gader, what's the height of this fence? Asarat tvachim, right? Anytime you have a fence, it's 10 tvachim high. So just quickly, I'll just show you what a fence looks like, made out of stones. Of course, I just still did pull it off Google, and instead of waiting until the end of the recording to show you the picture, I'll show it to you earlier on. So that's the fence of 10 stones, right? By the way, that fence, the rocks weren't that big, right? So again, we said the rocks will have to be big enough where you need, 2 people to carry it down. Pahot miken, less than this. So less than what? So Rabban over here says less than 10 tefachim, because we just said the shur gader is 10 tefachim. If it's less than 10 tefachim, mehatzev katehila. Mehatzev, right? Mehatzev igomo ad pachot min ha'aretz tefach. He's allowed to go ahead and take it down, literally to quarry it down, to chop it, cut it down until it reaches the aretz, till it reaches the ground. 1 tefach off the ground. You can't go all the way down to the bottom. You have to leave at least a tefach of stone, on the layer of the ground. I would just point out in the Chibur, in the Mishneh Torah, when Rambam says pachot miken, he says pachot less than any of the other shiurim. Right? We mentioned 3 things, 3 criteria in the Mishnah. It has to be 10 stones. It has to be at least, for 2 people have to carry each stone, and the fence has to be 10 tefachim high. Less than that, less than either of these 3. Right? Let's say it was only 9 stones. Let's say one person could carry the stone. Let's say it was 9 tefachim high the fence. Right? Either one of these 3. Then you're allowed to do so, but you have to leave a layer of a tefach. Right, so if it has all 3 criteria, you would rather remove the entire fence. If it's missing any one of the 3 criteria, the halacha is, you have to go ahead and you have to leave 1 tefach of rocks, stone on the bottom. But what are we talking about? If it's in his own field. Right? If it's in his friend's field, I don't care if it's a tiny fence, less than 10 tefachim, less than small stones. You could go all the way down to the ground. Take whatever you want, right? Because it's not your field. So they're not worrying that you're trying to fix your field. You don't care to fix your friend's field, right? You're not going to go ahead and start plowing your friend's field. You're not doing it so to help better his field. So whatever you want, you go all the way to the bottom. There's no issue of fixing his field. But what are we speaking about? When you didn't start before the Shemitah year, but if you started pre-Shemitah year, whatever he wants, he's allowed to take